People. Well, I tell you one thing, brother. This is from the heart. I respect the fact that you built it.
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm at the point now where, like people have a lot of critique. People have a lot of analyzing and all this other stuff. But what I don't see is tangible results.
Right.
Ausar and Hotep, when he was on the show, we did a show with him. He presented his book as a way of like presenting a bill to the nation, which would be our Congress. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Saying that I don't have all the answers, but this is what I got. This is the bill. Maybe there's going to be some things we can take away from the bill, some things we add on, we can modify, but the concept is right here. Here you go in written form. And you got to respect that.
Right.
You got to respect when somebody takes the time out to do the analyzing, build, do the scholarship, and put the thing together. Because then it's about, it's a question of who's going to be a part of this and who's going to build it and who's not.
Right.
So we get caught up in this paralysis of analysis where everything has to be critiqued. But I notice that we don't do half. I wish that we did 1% of the critique against this system that we participating in, as we do against the brothers, is actually putting something together to combat against it.
Right.
You notice that? Well, it's just like I always defend it. Like I always notice whenever you have people who's conscious, and we always produce something. Every Negro in the world wants to come out and critique what it is that we're doing, but yet you go and Laffy Taffy it up. You get McDonald's, Burger King, Pop. I mean, you do it without even thinking. It's like an automatic knee-jerk response. You participate. Here's my money. Take my money. Get rich off of me and impoverish me. You do it without even thinking. But when your people come and they present something that's practical and offers a solution, now all of a sudden you get your Einstein cap on and now you're thinking and you're breaking shit down. This shit is fucking annoying to me, man.
Well, it's back to that. It's that deep division again. It's that deep. It's really so. It's so heavy, brother. That's why people. I was talking about the possession. Amos Wilson spoke about that possession. I mean, we've been literally. I talked to a brother, and there's a spirituality to our existence. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We might not be able to label it in the way that is suitable for people to have a ready understanding of it without appearing to be spookish. But there is something that is tangible and intangible about this existence here. And one thing I see is the consciousness, and there's many levels of consciousness that I see that we are caught up in or not caught up in, that is really playing against us because it's been too long. Like I said, you're talking about thousands of years now.
But I will say this. All it takes is one generation.
That's it.
All it takes is one generation. As bad as things are, and as many thousands of years, all it takes is for us to build it, get a system in place, get one generation under our belt, and it's on and popping.
Yeah.
And popping.
That one generation is always going to be a redemption. That's just a sin. That's your rebirth. And Mr. Hobson couldn't have said it better. That's all it takes is one generation. And like you said, everyone wants to come out and put on their thinking cap and this, that, and the other thing. And part of it is fear. Well, will it work and all this type of thing? You know what? I'll be 36 in a month. And I've been in corporate America for 15 years. And, one thing that I know, that I've seen, if you're not willing to play the game and shuffle and, to some level croon, if you want to be able to make a certain amount of money, that's not there for you. This can also be echoed in Katrina. We have these expectations that this is the way things are supposed to go. But life doesn't work that way. Life doesn't go, it doesn't go according to some script that we think life, we watch all this TV and life is supposed to, go according to this script that, somebody writes down and says this is middle class, or you should have this 401k or whatever. We all believe that. But, this isn't reality. Life doesn't work that way. And, it pained me to see those brothers and sisters in Louisiana during Katrina waiting there for the government to do something for them.
Right.
because they had been conditioned that was the script.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say? That's the way it's supposed to go down.
I don't think I was as angry as that was probably the most angry I've ever been. Because it was like everything that I've been talking about manifested on that day.
Right.
You have people sitting up there, and everybody's sitting back saying, well, it's almost like you in a game, and everybody's asking, damn, if somebody would just hit that three-pointer, we might get back in the game. And nobody don't want to take the fucking ball, put it in their hands, and take the shot.
Well, I'll ask you a question on that then. If that's the microcosm, imagine the macrocosm.
Exactly.
And then tell me we don't have a problem.
Yeah, a major problem. We can't build one institution. And this is why, you know, like these ready to die dudes, I got a problem with them. Because my thing is, if you can't build one institution, right, how do you expect somebody to die for what you're doing?
Right.
When the Million Man March happened, those million brothers could have rushed the Capitol and nobody could have get a goddamn thing about it.
Right.
I don't care how much. They would have rushed it and we would have been controlling the White House. But guess what? After we get that little temporary rush of adrenaline, what's going to happen after that? What's the plan? Any systems in place? What's your educational system? What's your economic system? See, we operating off of emotions, and like you said, it's that feminization of our manhood. We operating and running off emotions. You get amped up, and then you're ready to go out and do damage. But then after you calm down, now what?
Well, you know, it's easy to take something. The problem is always in keeping it. You know,
right?
And you know that's where we fall short in a lot of things. You know, that's why. You know, definitely don't subscribe to this mentality, oh, you know, we're going to do this and do that. I mean, and once you're done, like you just said, what you going to do? You can't feed yourself. You know, some brother once told me a few years back that he'd been training with some brothers in Angola, and he was ready to set it off, and, you know, acting a fool and running around calling himself all kind of, like, high and important names. And, you know, I'm like, do you know how to build a house? Do you know how to, you know, do irrigation? You know, do you know how to just do the simple thing of, you know, making sure your feces doesn't get, doesn't, you know, seep into your fresh water. You know, just the average, you know, things that you would need to run a civilization. You know, and every time these cats, you know, they don't have no answer to that. You know what I mean? No.
Like, how do we develop? First of all, how do we get running fresh water in Africa? How do we develop transportation systems and communications between the countries? You know, these are things that you got to think about if you're talking about nationhood.
Right.
It ain't just about going and killing people. Because once you go out and because you can mount enough people and can literally take over the government, and then what's going to happen?
Well, most people don't know that Rome just didn't spread because of wars. One of the things that Romans would do is once they got a foothold in somebody's land is that they would build infrastructure. And then
infrastructure is the key.
Right. Then as soon as they put in the irrigation systems and they made sure that, you know, trade routes was going into that particular area, the people willingly adapted to their culture.
Right.
Because they saw better than what was there before. So, I mean, you know, like the brother AmbassadorAusar was saying, let's be true about history, okay? Mm-hmm. Because, you know, everything on one side wasn't all good and every other thing on the other side wasn't all bad. But we can still learn, you know. And so, you know, people watch TV, man, and you get pop culture generating the way people think, you know. And someone will say, well, you know, ain't nobody worried about black folks in our current condition. No. Why would you be? Why would you be, man?
Yeah, like I said, some brother was. You remember when they was talking about the fiber optic cable and how people can see you through the TV? I'm like, well, what are they going to see? They're going to see your drawers on the floor?
Exactly, man.
What are you doing?
You know, I mean, why would you be? You know, so and that's not you know, a disrespect to us, man. But you know, I mean, our men are failing from the position of being builders. Our women are failing from the position of being mothers. You know, they're not raising strong kids. They're not raising women that know how to take care of families, or men that, know how to be intelligent and dominant and that sort of thing. So, we're failing on the most rudimentary level. So, I mean, to even assume that we're any threat to anybody, on any significant level right now, is asinine. And that's not disrespectful. That's just the truth.
It's the truth, man. It's the God's honest truth. I've been daring brothers. I've been doing YouTube videos daring brothers. If you cannot say nothing to me. You can't ask me to be a part of nothing if you cannot build an institution. Build a functional institution, and then I'll holler.
Right.